Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video. In today's video, we're taking the new Egghead Brook into some PvP, seeing how he rocks, seeing how he rolls over in the Pirate Rumble game mode. Now, look, this character, end of month batch, specifically, they want these characters to be good in two game modes, PKA and Assault Rumble, and that's exactly what this character is. This character is Demon over in Assault Rumble against the Blackbeard Spike specifically. Over in regular Rumble, he seems kind of lackluster. He wants to have side teammates, he wants Straw Hats or Vegapunk teammates. He can get up to 10 times more attack and defense, so he's a great center unit. Plus, his Rumble special, the super special, he needs to get hit by 3 super specials, but 1 after level in break 5. So if you pull 3 of this guy, you're going to have level in break 5, which is kind of cool. I like that they're doing that, but overall, in regular Rumble, he just doesn't shine that much. He's special, he can hit fairly hard. He allows you to avoid action bind if you have 4 more Straw Hats, but that's very situational. We'll talk about that when we get into the fight. So we're going to take on some challenge fights. We have the Assault Rumble fight as well. With that said, let's dive in. Alright, so I'm going to start it off with the Assault Rumble fight, because like I said, this is where they want you to use Brook. This is where Brook looks his best. It's where he's doing the most amount of damage, and the action binding ability is actually worthwhile. They've, Pizarro side unit that came along with Blackbeard for this particular fight. It used to just be Blackbeard, but Pizarro they added just so people could get bigger numbers. And Pizarro has a little bit of a nerfing mechanic where he can action bind 2 of your highest attacking characters. And with Brook on the team, and as long as you have 4 Straw Hats, which we do with obviously Sanji, Brook himself, Zoro, and then Luffy on the bench there, you can actually avoid action binding. But the thing is, as you guys just saw there, a lot of characters are already immune to action bind. And if you're max attack characters like the Shanks and the Yamato that I have on this particular team, both being immune to action bind just means that this ability that Brook has, it's just completely worthless. It literally does absolutely nothing, because every single time that Pizarro goes, he's always going to target those 2 units, and at the same time, it really doesn't matter at all. So this is a situation where you can get away with just replacing Brook with something else. Something else is going to do more damage, I suppose. But for this particular fight, Brook is doing 5 times his attack. He's a Straw Hat, he's a free spread, and he's a side character, so he's getting literally all of the buffs under the sun. And if you have different investments to what I have in this particular team, obviously, say for example, your Sanji's 150 and your Shanks is not, being an Anniversary Legend compared to a regular Sugo Fest, then you can get some usefulness from this action binding ability. But overall, if you're building a team like mine, you don't really need it, because we have that level 150 Shanks, we have the level 150 Yamato. Both these characters, obviously, like I said, Super Sugo and Anniversary exclusive, so you might have some value, like I said, if Sanji is your highest attack-based unit, and that's the best way to sort of go about it. But over here against Assault Rumble, like I said, he's got the 4 times bazillion buff. Free Spirit, get extra damage. Straw Hat, get extra damage. Against this fight, Free Spirits and side characters get more damage, so he's literally getting so many buffs that it's not even funny. If you slap him in the middle, he can just continuously raise his attack, and as you can see, sitting at 64 attack right there is actually pretty goddamn crazy. The idea in Assault Rumble is you want to use half stats, you want to lower defense to try and get bigger numbers, and that's sort of the way to go about it. But look, the real MVP in this particular fight is Sanji. He's the one that's doing most of the damage. Even Shanks at the back end right here, he's doing quite a lot of damage too and giving you a lot of sustain. Strusen was actually a bit of a shock character that sort of found his way onto the team to sort of give you a little bit more sustainability, as well as lower some defense. Because again, lowering defense, halving the stats, that's the way to go about it. And that just allows Brook to do these crazy numbers. But again, Shanks, Sanji, they're doing crazy numbers too. So it's a bit of a shame that Brook's not really sort of surpassing this. But at the end of the day, that's what they want you to use this character. They want you to summon this character so you can do big damage, take the character into the event, and get a higher ranking for your Assault Rumble rewards. But that's against Blackbeard. He's very good. He's tailor-made for this particular fight, even though he just died at the end there. Funny enough, just showcasing that even though he gives himself defense and stuff, he can still die fairly easily. But like I said, very interesting character. Alright, so we're going to dive into the challenge fight against Fuji and Green Ball. Fuji and Green Ball were the big standout character in my mind that do action binding shenanigans. They're one of the ones that are very frustrating to deal with. Them and Raizo Shinobu in terms of the challenge fights, but I figured Raizo Shinobu's challenge fight is so outdated that if they updated it with Usopp Lilith and then Raizo Shinobu, that's where Brook would see a lot of shine. I do want to try and go up against a shooter team that has both of them, but I think shooters are just way too good for what we're rocking here. So the side team obviously has a lot of Straw Hats on it now. We have Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. You have the Sanji you guys saw in the previous clip. We have the Anniversary exclusive Nami, the Kizuna Rare Recruit Robin, great character that you guys can run. So you have a lot of Straw Hats that you can easily fit on the team now. The best one is obviously situational. If there's int teams, you guys want to bring Sanji, like you saw in that Blackbeard fight. But Luffy, Zoro, Sanji is probably the one that's going to be the most ran on these types of teams. So the ability to sort of give cooldowns to Straw Hats and then do the amount of damage they can do is really, really nice. But the thing with this side team and the whole avoiding action by mechanic that Brook is pretty much renowned for is that we are doing a lot of special rollback. So if you're rolling back specials so much to the point that the character that is doing the action binding just doesn't get a special off, again, it's just not worthwhile. And these abilities where you give yourself a immunity buff for a certain amount of time can just be problematic when you don't have the option to burst them. So like, say for example in Grand Party, we had the ability to say, okay, Ryza, Shinobu, Fuji, Greenbull, they're about to use their special, let's quickly use this ability, so that way we can block it at the perfect time. Then that's where the true power comes into play. Or if it's an ability to just bypass half stats or some other crazy abilities, that's where these types of, like the fixed damage one, for example, or the damage through defense, like those ones are going to be that see the most play. But just like I said, your characters can be immune to action bind already, and the timing could just not line up, and unfortunately, then the whole ability is just completely wasted. So, as you guys see here, like the slasher fight, it's pretty old. Brook kind of doesn't really replace Kizaru on this particular team. As you can kind of see, I sort of just replaced Kizaru with Brook, and then made it more sort of Straw Hat centric by bringing like Robin up the front, and then bringing what's his name, Esper in over Akainu. But at the end of the day, like I feel like the other Psy, Admiral, Straw Hat team, it's just going to be better in every single way. However, like Brook can find a place because, like I said, there are a lot of Psy Straw Hats, and the big one that I can sort of see the meta, or like a meta-defining character that is going to see the most ability out of this is against something like Usopp and Lilith. Usopp and Lilith obviously pop up on the Cerebral team, they pop up on the Shooter team, and if you were using Brook somewhere, it would be to just block them specifically, because they can sort of action bind one particular character, and that way you can't really sort of tailor make, okay, well, the highest attack units, like we saw in the Blackbeard fight, they're going to get action bind. It is just, I believe it's a random unit that they actually target. But I wanted to showcase this as well, because Usopp will have the ability to roll back specials and lower your cooldown reduction, and if they use their special well before Brook even gets a chance to use his, then again, the ability is completely pointless. It's not like he removes action bind and then makes you immune to it, which will just make the ability just infinitely better. Like, if you had the ability to apply like that immunity, and then it would remove any action bind that you had on the crew, again, just would be a huge W ability. But unfortunately, that's not the case. It's not how the ability works, and it's not how Brook is like functioning. So I don't think he sort of finds a home on the Psy team. Like, again, in the future, Straw Hats might get some huge resurgence, but Psy definitely needed more than what they got with Brook. It's just like a nice little character that's kind of gone, alright, well, here he is, use him in Assault Rumble, stash him in your box, and probably never use him ever again. Like, at least in Assault Rumble, he's actually doing work, unlike the Frankie. The Frankie's just sitting there being an absolute placeholder. But, yeah, Brook, like I said, he's super special. It's pretty lackluster. Paralysis means nothing. And that ability to avoid action binds at the right time can be pretty powerful, but I just don't see it being something that you really want on your regular PvP team. So overall, he gets a big thumbs down for me. He's very lackluster. But let me know what you guys think of the character in the comment section below. Did you summon for him? Did you not summon for him? End of month batch, obviously you want to try and avoid, but with these whole Rainbow Tavern Medal shenanigans, I do understand people would have thrown a couple multis at it, and you might have got a little bit of luck, like myself, or some of the other people in the community too. But like I said, let me know in the comment section below how you guys went. If you guys enjoyed the character, let me know. If you don't, let me know your thoughts. And with that said, thank you all for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.